How's it going? John Duke, Union Home Mortgage from East Lansing. I'm sitting here with Brian Ozbun from Belabay Realty. This is our first edition of a pubcast, Taproom Talks, and today we're going to talk everything interest rates. First thing I want to get out, Brian, how you doing today?
Good, you?
Awesome, awesome.
It's a little chilly.
A little chilly. Yesterday was 75 degrees.
We were on patios. We thought.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, we'll try to figure out Michigan. So, dude, I want to talk about what's going on with our inventory and how it relates to our interest rates. I mean, this has just been crazy, the stuff that I've been hearing and seeing. Enlighten me. Tell me what's going on with our inventory and our real estate market in this area right now.
Well, we still have all-time lows. A little up. We can kind of highlight on why later on, but a little up from the last 2 years. But I think we have sellers that are struggling to get off of low interest rates, whether it's hurting them or helping them one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
We have buyers.
A lot of buyers,
right, that are struggling to come into the market.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they could buy a $200,000 house 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, yeah,
for a few $100s less a month.
yeah.
So, as far as the inventory goes, we just have people that are stuck in the interest rate mindset. Why would I give up 3% to take 6%?
I 100% agree with you. I have this conversation every day, as I know you will as well, and it's we're having different conversations from different standpoints, and I really want to marry these together in a way. When we talk about the sellers, I'm guilty of providing a lot of them with 2 to 3% interest rates the last several years, which
absolutely,
that was a lot of fun. But what we really got to get back to, and I want you to tell me if I'm correct here, and we need to get back to families making decisions for what's best for their families. You know, and I got to believe that there are a significant amount of, just as an example, the elderly or those that would be normally downsizing are staying in a home that's not suitable for them because of the interest rate, and potentially are paying too much in property taxes and their utilities and other things, rather than making their normal decision to downsize that property. Would you agree with that? Is that something you're seeing?
Absolutely. They're not only affecting themselves with property taxes, utilities, maintenance of something that's 2,500 square feet versus the 1,000 that they really truly need.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was normal. That was an indicative of a normal market where somebody would get to a place where they're an empty nester, as we like to say, and they would naturally downsize their home, move into something a little bit more useful for them so they can do the traveling. But now they're stuck on an interest rate. And conversely, as we saw during COVID as well, I think that there was a lot of new babies born.
I know.
And
not my own.
What that has meant is, I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that people are living in homes that maybe aren't suitable for their growing families anymore.
Yeah.
But yet they're still stuck on that interest rate.
Bursting at the seams, you know, where they were a 2 or 3 bedroom home and they now need to be a 3, 4, maybe even 5 bedroom home. They're making do with what they have because, once again, the mindset's stuck on, I'm at my 3%, 3.5%, whatever it is, and to go do this, whether they've talked to a lender or they just read the newspaper.
Right.
That's not even a thing anymore, is it? But,
well, yeah, we find it in different places, but I think we'd all agree that, you know, none of us are here for a very long time. We're here for a good time. And I tell you what, if I outgrew my house, that didn't sound like a very good time to me. Right? So maybe we need to get back to making decisions based on what is right for our family.
Yeah.
I think I believe we also see it with the new buyers today, that they have sticker shock because they didn't participate in the market that was maybe had lower interest rates. Are you seeing that? Are you hearing that narrative as much as I am?
Absolutely. Whether they did or didn't participate, maybe they participated and got beat out, and now they're just down in the dumps. Like, oh, I could have, you know, a year ago bought at 3.5. Now it's 6, so my payment's $200 more or whatever it is. But they're not seeing the value in the investment.
Yeah, and they're continuing to rent. In a lot of cases, they're continuing to rent or they're living with mom and dad. And there's two sides to that one. It's a tough lifestyle to live with mom and dad when you're an adult, and mom and dad probably don't want you there as long as you are anyway.
Right.
So those two things are in agreements with each other. The next thing is that you just said payment. And I've been in this industry, doing mortgages for almost 27 years now. And one constant has always been, what's my payment? Because it's all about payment, right?
Right.
Until it wasn't. Until it's all about my interest rate, right?
Yeah.
I think we got to get back to that payment narrative. And it's all about payment because there's only so much income that comes in a family budget every single month, right?
Right.
But yet we still have a car payment that's $1,000, and we still have credit card debt that we're paying on, which is a much higher interest rate. So my question is, I'm wondering, and it's rhetorical, obviously, is where has this narrative come from all about interest rates when we're willing to borrow on other things that are not helping us, are not serving us at much higher interest rates?
Yeah, and people are focusing on liabilities more than they are assets.
Yeah, no question.
You hit two nails on the head with credit cards and automobiles are liabilities.
Yeah,
you only need really one of them to function in life. Semi-function, whatever it is. But
it's crazy, and I feel like this is a mindset question. You said that from the onset. It's mindset. I'm stuck on this rate that I have, and I'm afraid to let go of that interest rate for something that would be better for me. Look, I mean, we've said this for the last couple of years, and it's been a narrative that has stood true. Marry the house, date the rate, and divorce the rent. Right? And when you're paying rent, you're paying 100% on interest rate.
100%. 110% sometimes.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I don't know if you know it, but those landlords, they're in it for the money.
Hey, it's a business.
It's a business.
It's a business.
Right. So that being said, I think how do we try, as two guys that are always out there hustling, how do we try to change that narrative? I mean, and this is one way, obviously, but how do we change the narrative for our buyers and for the sellers? Because without one, you don't have the other.
No, that's a good question. Right off the hip, you just got to get in front of them, like we're doing today, is trying to get the mindset changed, right? Switch, come back around.
Yeah.
Focus on what's a liability and what's an asset. An asset's an investment.
Yep.
Okay. If it's a financial, either you're contributing to it one way or another.
Yeah.
And if it's all about the payment, which it should be, figure out with a good lender what the payment is and what the amount is that you can spend to get you to that payment.
Yeah. There's two sides to every balance sheet.
Right.
There's only two sides to every balance sheet.
That's it.
There's an asset side and a liability side.
That's right.
And I think that the end game is that you want that asset side to be grossly larger than the liability side.
110%.
And the rate doesn't have anything to do with that.
No.
It has to do with discipline and payments.
Correct.
All right. Well, we're in agreement, as we always have been.
Every time.
Cheers, my friend. Good seeing you.